Hey everyone, Sycra here, and this isn't really a lesson, and it's something I'm just trying. I guess it's an experiment to see if it's even well received or not, because I don't know, this might be super boring. So, um, anyway, it's to see a behind the scenes view into how, if I was like, let's say I wanted to make a line tutorial. If I was going to do that, how would I go about doing that? So the first thing I did is I did a sketch from memory or imagination without looking at any lines or anything. I just want to see what what can I put down. What's my best guess of what a line looks like, and then I go and get reference. But this whole idea of putting down your best guess, I think it's really good because I've used this a lot when I study anatomy. I'll draw my best guess of where the muscles go, and then I'll open my anatomy book, and it tends to work better because what you notice when you put down your best guess is you really notice the areas that you're weak at, because those are the areas when you're drawing it you're not sure. Like, yeah, I don't know if that's what it looks like. So you just put down your best guess. And so with anatomy, let's say I was doing a human figure, there's so many muscles that often what people do is they just go right ahead and copy the muscles, but you're drawing it all in copy mode instead of, dealing with your weaknesses. But when you give it your best guess, even if you don't know any of the muscles, I would still encourage this, because what you're going to do is, let's say you're in a situation where you don't know where any of the muscles go. Okay, so you do your best guess, and it's going to be all off. So then you can say, okay, well, the whole thing's off, so let's just look at the arm. And then you can correct the arm, make that right, and then just focus on the arm for maybe a week. And I'm not doing a line tutorial, but if I was doing a line tutorial, this whole process in the video is about an hour and 40 minutes. I'd probably do that every day for a week to get familiar with how to draw a lion. And then I would move on to other things. Then I would move on to the actual tutorial, sorry. So here what I'm doing is getting down like a front view, and I am looking at the reference. I can see from rewatching this that I messed up on the eyes, and I don't know if I ever understood that. But then see, right away what I want to do is take away all the reference and try and do it from memory. It's this constant thing of studying something, and yes, use the reference, but then right away put the reference away and then try and remember as much as you can, because that's when you're really going to absorb the information. If you go to right away just do a copy and then call it done and then say, okay, I did a study, well, how do you know how much you actually remember from that study? I'm sure you'll gain something, but this process of looking at reference and then maybe doing a drawing, or first do your best guess, then look at reference, then correct your best guess. So it's like, okay, these are the things I got wrong. It's going to help you to remember much better. And then do an actual study again of the reference and draw from the reference, and then put away the reference and try and draw from memory, and then take your memory and then compare it to the reference, and then fix your reference again, and then repeat, rinse and repeat the whole thing until you can do the thing without reference. So here I'm taking a look at a skull of a lion because I want to understand the anatomy. I don't just want to draw from the reference. That's not my goal. I want to eventually, and I'm not gonna do this because I don't care that much about lions, but I do this with the human figure because I do care about that. But I want to understand it. I don't just want a very superficial understanding. I want to be able to draw this thing in any position, right? I want to feel comfortable with it. And it takes a long time. And if you're watching this and you're maybe in an earlier stage, in a beginner stage, please don't get discouraged, because I wouldn't be able to even do this stuff. It's taken me years and years of practice to even be able to do this. My good buddy Will Terrell, he did an awesome video on drawing from reference, and I'll include a link to that video in the description box. But yeah, that one, he does a shark, and even that, I wouldn't be able, I don't think I'm at the level that I could do what he did. So I totally get if you're watching this and thinking, well, I can't even draw the thing from reference and have it look right. That's fine, don't worry, it takes time. And what I really want to show in this video anyway is just that it's always a lot of work to understand something. It's not going to be this quick, hey, I learned how to draw, or I'm talented and I can draw everything. Maybe there are people like that, but it certainly isn't me. I have to do study after study and really pay attention. See, you'll notice me drawing on the image itself, and you'll also notice that this is very messy, and that's what I don't show. And some people have very pretty sketchbooks, and I do not. My sketchbooks, the things I draw in that and stuff like this, it's not pretty. It's not for other people. It's for me. It's so that I learn something. And I think it's so important to have a split between the work you do for yourself and then the work you create to show others. The difference between, okay, I'm doing practice right now, and this isn't for other people. So I can be messy. I can scribble on the reference. I can do whatever I need to do to learn this thing, as opposed to thinking that, no, okay, I'm trying to make a picture because I have an idea and I want to share it with other people, which is great. And then, of course, you do want other people to see it, so then you want presentation. You don't want anything sloppy in that. But, yeah, I think it's really important to have a balance of those two things, and to not maybe feel like when you're doing your practice that someone's going to see it. Because if you, and I don't want to be too, telling you what you should do and that this is the way it is, but I do feel like it does inhibit you if you are self-consciously practicing. And that's why I really don't like showing my sketchbook stuff, even though I feel a bit guilty, because I know it actually might help people to see, like, oh, he sucks too. And I hope this does that as well, just to show that, yeah, it's not a success. Like, if you look at this one, the body is way off. But just because of that, again, I'm doing things from imagination. The head it's a little bit better now, right, than the very first one I did. And again, I'm doing another front view head just to try and cement that idea, and I'm still messing up on the eyes. It's frustrating. Basically, the part of the eyes that's bothering me is that the outside corner of the lion's actually goes a bit down, and I keep having it go up. And anyway, so yeah, it's starting to look though like a lion. So it's like, hey, I can kind of do a front view now of a lion, kind of. But anyway, going back to the other thing, I realized my proportions are way off. So now I want to find the proportions of a lion. And so I take the top, the bottom, and then split it in half and then in quarters. And I want to see, do any of these lines fall on spots that I could use? And I noticed that the first quarter, it cut through the nose. So it's like, okay, so if this lion is divided into 4 parts, then the top part will go from the top of the head to the nose if it's standing up straight. And then the legs go all the way to the bottom. The body goes down to the second halfway point, but it doesn't go so high. So in this one, this study, I actually still didn't fully understand. I made the body go up too much. hopefully I corrected in this one. But again, this is how tutorials are made. You know, you might see a guy like, I don't know, Mark Crilly, and he's explaining, you know, this is how you break down a face and stuff. Well, he had to draw it first, and then he had to break it down, and then there's a lot of work that goes into tutorials. So sometimes I get people asking, you know, can you do a tutorial on this or that? And it's like, you know, I'd love to, but that's going to take me a good week just to be comfortable with how to do that. In my last video, how to practice drawing, I got a comment asking if it worked, if the same method worked for backgrounds, and I don't think it does. But I'm not an expert on backgrounds, so it's tough to, you know, be able to, I don't know, do all the tutorials that you ask for. But I do, you know, I will do my best, and I do really appreciate all the support and the suggestions you give. I really do want to be able to help if I can. So maybe I will eventually get better at backgrounds, and then I'll be able to help you more on you know, how to draw backgrounds. But at this point, I still really don't like doing backgrounds, because I don't know if it's because I'm not good at it. I think it's two sides of the same coin. I don't enjoy drawing backgrounds, and I'm not good at drawing backgrounds. If I was good at them, maybe I'd enjoy them more, but it's also the fact that I don't enjoy them is why I don't draw them enough to get good at them. So anyway, so now what I'm doing is just a final imagination drawing where I'm trying to not use any reference and put the line in a different pose. I am looking at the reference from time to time that I have around, but mainly I'm just trying to, you know, do it from imagination and turn this into, okay, what can I do at the end of this study session? And yeah, if I really was going to do this, I would be doing another study session, another one, and it does get easier over time. But yeah, and this line's not very good either. But anyway, I'm really thinking about the gesture, though. I want that's important to me. I want this line to be feeling like it's in action, and one of the legs is really bad. But anyway, so I'm flipping it now because that's, again, it's just a way to check and to see, you know, does this look good? Because you get tunnel vision, you know, if you work on an image for a long time, you start to not see the problems with it. And even when I'm, you know, doing this recording, I see so many new problems. But anyway, I hope that gives some insight into how these tutorials are made and how I don't know what I'm doing most of the time.